So even if, you know, like the game don't go that well, but like you make sure you mentally damage your opponent so that you get the next 2 games.
Yeah, that's a key part of Southeast Asian Dota. Just impact the morale of the enemy team, impact their intellect by just playing techies. It hurts a lot. It is a strong support, right? Like in all honesty, it's very lane dominant. I think this allows a lot of combination with jabs off lane. I do like that the Underlord is banned out and Talon banning out the Magnus. Respect for KP. He looked amazing on that Magnus. I like that respect ban from Talon.
I mean, who knows him better, you know?
Of course, yeah. His former teammates.
However, I don't think you can prioritize techies over Colo. I feel like Colo is kind of a soft counter towards techies because like you want to stun, right? And then like this Colo can just bind you back. So it's like a disengage so you're engaged. It feels like you can never really kill the lane where Colo is in.
True. Like there is that back and forth play. But I feel like Talon could probably go for something strange if they were really prioritizing that. Just maybe more aggression coming out here.
Sorry, my arm was itchy. I didn't know they were going back to me. It's just itchy right now.
Maybe you didn't apply enough sunblock.
I know.
The sky.
It's really
Yeah,
hot.
it's really bright here. Yeah. We're in the beach, of course. Perpetual sunshine here.
Oh, do you ever notice that ship next to you? It's like an IO. It's got a flag.
Yeah, and there's a little tide hunter swimming underneath too, if you can find the angle.
For the majors, which is pretty cool. Anyways, back to the draft. I always find the interaction of the blinding light and the blast off pretty interesting. I don't know why. It just looks so stupid to me.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like a circus move, I can understand it.
Yeah.
You have Pango joining in the circus, so yeah.
What do you guys think about BLACLIST's opening?
It's normal. I guess you pick a color and then you want a hero pairing to feel you can empower with the color, but also not to the point where you fixate your draft already, because it's not really the 8 fake. So you can kind of get screwed up by their next hero pick now. But then like if you pick the Dusa, I feel maybe it's not too bad either, because I think Raven like is quite a Medusa player, and I think the team can make this Medusa color work.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of possibilities still to expand on that. Talon, they take the Ember for themselves, more than likely from Mikoto. Maybe realizing there's a little bit of flexibility out from BLACLIST to expand. Like KP does play a mean off lane Pango, although that's just not popular, but it allows you to maybe pick up the Ember down the line to have the Ember Coddle as well. So a couple of stones being thrown out from Talon to deny that pick.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they can actually set up a pretty good mid-pick here, like, possibly an SF or, you know, like, something that can just carry the game very fast. I don't mind this Pango being on the tree and, you know, just buying aura items, although I would prefer that not be the case, really.
Yeah, what happened to the Pango 3 today? And we're like, I don't know about this one.
I mean, to be fair, his lineup wasn't really the best for him to do that, though, because, like,
That's true.
It already showcased that if the Void Spirit don't get a good game, you can't really do that anymore. But I feel he should still buy the dagger, which I think a lot of Pango players are ignoring, because I think usually he goes mid, right? And you don't really need to buy the dagger on the Pango, but I think if you are in any other position, you should buy the dagger. But anyway, they reacted immediately by banning the Bloodseeker. Understandable.
Yeah. Just protect the Pangolier. Does get really annoying if you can't get those roll angles, for sure.
Honestly, I think you already know they're gonna have the Ember mid, so it's fine to have the Pango lane the Ember. It's just, I mean, you're gonna get bullied a little bit, but like there's no Bloodseeker, so technically not much that can stop you from rolling. They ban out the other hero that can stop him from using his roll efficiently as well.
Yeah. And it's not like Bane is a hero. Grimstroke is kind of hit or miss as well.
Yeah, like why did they not take Grimstroke against Pango anymore? I mean, I'm a Pango player. I don't like to see Grimstroke, but I still feel Grimstroke is quite a decent counter.
I think it's just the hero.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the hero itself is just like dead, I guess.
Yeah, it's been dead for quite a while.
I mean, we saw it today, but it didn't
I mean,
really
popped out, but yeah.
In the same
It
game
lost.
too. Same game with the Pango.
Yeah.
Terrorblade ban as well, just to remove some bigger
Coddle
nuisances.
pairing.
Yeah, Coddle pairing's pretty strong.
I feel like Elk is still in the pool though.
It is. It is, and it's certainly pickable by both sides. which is always a little bit scary.
I feel if Blacklist does take the Alchemist, Talon is just gonna take the Doom.
Yeah, then you have the Doom Techies lane as well, which just overwhelms the Alchemist early on. We've seen that a couple of times already. It just doesn't feel good for the Alchemist laning phase.
But I think Blacklist is not gonna reveal that pick so soon. Like, they might just pick, you know, a stable pos 5 or something. Maybe this call is pos 5, we never know.
Yeah.
Radiant
Ban the
team
Pugna out as well. So taking the battery that Aldi likes to play away has been really effective on that Pugna. So can't really fault Blacklist. They are taking away a lot of comfort in these bans.
Well, Talon did take away Cuckoo's roommate. I'm not sure if that's worth in the first place, but
10
I
seconds.
respect it.
Oh my god!
Venom.
The Cuckoo Mancer, is it in? The pos 5 Cuckoo Mancer?
No.
Look at him laugh! Look at him laugh! Mike! You know what you've done.
But Raven isn't exactly happy about this though. He's like, oh, really? Oh, nah.
No,
oh,
Raven's got like he's got like the anime protagonist when he goes like psycho smile, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
had it.
knows what his plan
Yeah.
is.
They know what they've done here.
He's ready to unleash.
And yeah,
Talon
alright. I
Esports.
mean,
I think they are snatching the Alchemist instead, maybe just picking the Doom here. They don't really have the last pick anyway, so don't really have to save it for the 23.
yeah, that's fair. They can just kind of take what they want for jabs right here, right now.
10 seconds
They could
remaining.
potentially flex Alk off. A few teams do it, but I don't
5
think that's
seconds
something
remaining.
that... I say that, but Jabs does some weird stuff sometimes, so it's still a possibility, but a possibility that I hope Jabs doesn't do. It's a bit of a strange one, but you never know sometimes with Talon, right? They do sometimes treat DPC as a room to experiment. So this could be one.
Sometimes.
That's true. They do
Sometimes.
need like a aura builder off lane, and Alk's not really natural aura, but it can be done.
AC's an aura.
I guess, but with the Coddle and Venom, it's definitely looking like you're gonna need pipe. Yeah. But they go Disruptor.
I mean,
Good
overall,
one.
it's just a good hero to pair with the Ember as well.
Talon Esports turn to
Oh.
Early Timber.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't feel like you have the best early control for the Tim, but I think it can kind of zip around. Your big threat is probably
I mean-
really just the Disruptor.
He does trash the Ember and Alchemist in lane though,
Yeah.
so
Just
I
take-
guess it's fine
10
because
seconds
the support
remaining.
from the Talon side isn't really enough to burst his
Yeah.
Timber down.
5 seconds
But
remaining.
still, they kind of have to be careful because, like you said, they don't really have enough setups. It's now only the Pango. And when you play with like a Collar or Venom, right, you kind of want the team to be able to make the fight around them, not just, you know, like, oh, I dive. Because they're just gonna die to the Ember, surely, if the Pango and the Timber doesn't protect them.
It's a pretty free game for Mikado to kind of dance around on the Ember here. If they're not careful,
Press one button, 30% HP gone.
pretty much. That's the one scary thing right now for Blacklist.
10 seconds
I'm also wondering
remaining.
what kind of lane they want to pull out with the Venomancer. Again, I'm
5
expecting Cuckoo to
seconds
play it on
remaining.
5. So what kind of
I think
laning
it's
partner
his
you'd
hero.
want? I mean, it has to be. You saw Mike smile. You saw his laugh. Surely he knows what they've done.
All right, what do you guys think they need to finish off their drafts? Blacklist need a
I think Blacklist
carry.
will just do the Raven signature carve here, just stand in front, be the pillar that his team needs. Then that way the Timber and the Pango don't have to feel so restricted because then he'll be the one protecting the Coddle and the Venom. But I'm not so sure if there's like a hero that
Radiant
does that
team
well
back.
now. Because I think Talon pretty much banned all of them.
Yeah.
There is a jug. I've been seeing a lot of jug for some reason in my pubs.
Yeah, the jug has been on
You
the
as
up and
well.
up. Yeah, it's been on the rise. It's really just down to tempo. You know,
10
it plays pretty
seconds
well.
remaining.
It can farm up pretty fast as well. You have a pretty straightforward build up
5
with
seconds
Maelstrom,
remaining.
but you can still itemize elsewhere. Although I do believe Maelstrom's still the most effective.
Talon
And the Batrider,
Esports
which
turn
I
to
feel like
pick.
has just been a really strong hero. I've seen a lot, like we didn't see it in the last series, but I've seen a lot of Batriders not even go sticky They just go Firebomb and Firefly.
Yeah.
Basically, just run around.
I think that's just a pure respect ban for
10
Talon because
seconds remaining.
they are heroes. All of them can't deal with Barrier, and they already saw the Ember, so
5 seconds
most probably the
remaining.
Ember will go mid anyway. But
Yep.
having a Barrier in the side lanes against
Radiant
like
team
4 of your heroes can't deal with the Barrier, so
Beastmaster.
maybe they'll say, ooh.
Hey.
Phantom.
All right,
choose your
so
hero.
a PA with Venolane does sound pretty scary. That's a lot of slows on hand. Dagger out, maybe an early Orb of Venom. They can actually really suppress that lane. It's also kind of an answer to the Beastmaster, although again, you don't tend to go Boars in unfavorable lanes anyway, but Raven's gonna have a good time with his stick into the wand, so you can control that lane pretty well. It should be a stable lane, maybe depending on how out of position either of these heroes on the side, like the Techies and the Beast get, then they can be punished. It does make it harder for the Techies to play aggressive, right? When you jump in, you will be slowed, there will be a lot of DOTs, and chances are you could get sacrificed.
I feel they might have some trouble for the Alchemist lane though, because it is a Timber
10
call,
seconds remaining.
and I don't really know what can an Alchemist do to that combo.
5 seconds
Like you can't even
remaining.
farm at peace, because I mean Timber just shreds.
Yeah.
The Alchemist and Disruptor don't really do anything about it. So I feel either side may try lane from the start just to see if they can get something like more than just from laning.
Do you guys have a draft that you favor?
I think if it goes online, I think Talon's draft might be a little bit easier to execute.
Yeah.
I think Blacklist, it feels like they've got to really win out these lanes, but how aggressive they can get, like you mentioned, the struggles of the Alchemist lane for 23. We have to see KP and Tim's really pull that out, maximize that chakra, run it down, and the same thing for Raven's lane. Like play with the slows, punish the techies when they jump in, and make that really passive for them.
Yeah, for me, I was like, usually there's like a team that you kind of can easily side with when you see the draft, but I don't know, they look pretty even to me.
I mean, Blacklist is the kind of draft where you feel like it's to counter the other side. But they, when you look at them as a lineup, it doesn't look stable because they don't have like a proper hero to start a fight. It's always, oh, okay, let them go on the Timber. You know?
All right, well, let's get this show on the road. I got a new casting duo for you guys. It's Richie and now Winter. Take it away.
Hello, Chanlapin. How are you doing?
I'm great, my friend. Do you want me to sing hello?
That's why,
Hello, Richie Garcia.
that's why I said this impression. Dude, we got a hell of a matchup here. Blacklist Rivalry versus Talon Esports. No longer a full Filipino versus Filipino matchup, of course. Right, Blacklist bringing in new offlaner KP here for them. Worked out for them pretty well in their first series. Now they've got Bosku as well on the Veno 5, making the play over to position 5. You know, I had an interview with him earlier this week, and I asked him, are you going to be playing Venomancer 5? And he laughed, and he said, maybe.
His best hero, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's just like, it's not even a running meme, man. Venom Pos 5 is actually legit good.
It's pretty good. What are the strengths in lane that we should see here? As he's going to lane probably versus, what, the Beastmaster and the Techies, I suppose?
Yeah, they have a very,
30
very strong lane.
seconds to bat.
Venom
30
plus PA.
seconds
PA
to
in
bat.
general is already very good against Beastmaster. Used to pick it against Beast when it was the ball build, because you can kill the ball. But even in this lane, in this particular one, Beastmaster plus Techies, I feel like with the Venom, you have a lot of kill potential, especially if the Techies jumps in with Blast Off. And
Right.
he tries to be aggressive and he doesn't kill you, you're gonna just pick him off easily.
See here how it gets going for the side of Blacklist.
The battle
As the
begins.
runes, the smoke
The
away from
battle
Talon. We'll see if it
begins.
pans out into anything. KP's a bit of a tanky lad here. Hasn't taken any skill points quite yet. And will be forced to take that point now into Timber Chain. I don't think he's too upset by this. I think Timber Chain level
Oh.
is pretty standard.
That's pretty big deal though, because he's laning against Elk. You want to have Whirling Death and the reactive armor. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely hurts your power to pressure the Elk in the lane as much, because usually if the lane's going well with you, you might actually consider that 2-0-2. Like 2 points in Whirling Death and 2 points in reactive, and then at level 5, you would only then scale your Timber Chain.
Okay, we'll see if that ends up making a difference here in this top lane. And I agree with you. We'll see how it plays out as 23 is going to send himself a little bit up top lane. But he did it to secure the range. He did it to secure the range. I am a Marn move. While we talk about this mid lane, I mean, we don't have to really talk about mid lane a lot, but I do want to bring some attention to the two Radiant Observer wards that are both watching kind of this rotational area. Yeah, you've seen this, right? I'm not sure if this was a little bit of communication. Yeah, that's both of them. That's both of their minute 0 wards. I'm not exactly sure if this is intentional, if they really just want to have vision on that staircase there to see if anyone's making the rotation, I guess the techies, but I haven't seen that a lot. Usually you see the one a little bit closer to the mid lane. That one's very common, but the lower one, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen that a lot.
It's definitely rather strange to have two next to each other this early on. But so far, looking at the laning phase of PA and the Beastmaster lane, like both of the cores are still farming pretty decently, but I feel like once PA gets more levels with the banner, they should pose a threat, but as of right now, the techies and Beasts, they are much stronger at level 1 with the Axe. And the Sticky Bomb harass.
Yeah, they've been managing to keep the Axe stack as well up on a Raven. He's up to 7, which is going to force him well out of range of this. We'll see if Jez gonna have another go. He will, and he continued to stack it, so up to 9 stacks now on Raven's Phantom Assassin. Bosku unable to really keep him at bay too much. Did throw the Gale on over towards Q, and that'll buy enough time for Raven at least to reset those axes count. He missed 1 CS. Let's see if he gets the range creep. Yeah, okay, so he missed just a CS under tower then because of that. Not a brutal mistake, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, but all in all, Techies is a very, very powerful laner. Getting pressure like this is quite normal when you're laning against Techies, and you just have to bear with it and wait for the quick wave to come back to the tower.
Yeah, under Raven, I think he's gonna die. He pops the stick, no, gets the Phantom Strike out just in the nick of time there. A Blood Grenade actually might have done him in. Level 2.5 there, very happy to have Bosku pulling the wave back to reset the equilibrium so that doesn't happen as easily.
Yeah, top lane as well. BLACLIST managed to get the pull towards the side camp. Not sure if the Kotal managed to secure the last hit there. He might have gone to Elk, but overall, both the offlaners are pretty happy with the current situation.
Yep. There's that point in Whirling Death that you were talking about earlier. Plenty of mana to spam it as well, courtesy of Tim's Chakra Magic. So KP having a pretty easy time in lane. They're already forced to Healing Salve out on 23. And he's set to probably take a bit more damage as soon as those trees start regrowing. But he's been doing a good job keeping them cut down to try and reduce the amount of mobility that KP has. Gives Oddly some more plays to make now with level 2 Glimpse already he's taking.
Glimpse on the Kotal?
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Up in this top lane, 23 throws the Unstable Concoction. Good amount of physical damage, but the damage is not sufficient. BLACLIST saw that one coming. It was pretty well telegraphed as well.
Yeah, it's still nice damage, Good harass onto the Kotal, forcing him to use his salve here. I mean, Timber's gonna be pretty happy in this lane. I think the Kotal can start to just leave.
Yeah, he's gonna
give him solo XP, stack some jungle, control runes. I don't think he needs to be in the lane anymore.
Yep. It's the Timbersaw teenager of offlaners, I call him. Once he gets to that like kind of middle age, he doesn't want you to be in his lane anymore. Wants you to close the door on the way out, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty important to identify this when you're playing a pos 4, when you're laning with a hero that needs a lot of levels, especially Timber. And you have to understand that your presence in the lane.
Raven, and strikes away. The damage too high though. Jabs gets first blood there on the Axis build. 2-0-1 right now, by the way. Not a single point in the board. That's how strong this counter is to this PA. But big first blood for him, even if it is, 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's why Beastmaster is very, very strong opening pick as an offlaner. Like in most lanes, you should be able to survive or even pressure a lot with the Axe build. And with Techies as your support.
Hold on. Ollie, okay, that's going to be a glimpse.
Oh, nice glimpse there.
That is a sad Raven and a dead Bosku in the meantime. This
what a play.
Talon. Yeah.
What a heads-up play, He realizes they got a kill bot and he just quickly reacted, and went to the Twin Gate and just came bot.
That's really good.
That is just a game-winning move right there by Ollie.
Yeah, and KP can't really do much about that. He's applying as much pressure as he can. This Kotal at least stacking, so doing as much as he can as he now does look to rotate towards the mid lane. Careful here, bit of action, but Makoto with enough HP to stun though. In return, the Sticky Bomb. Carl get down. Ooh. It's barely gonna. I think someone fed him a Lotus. Someone fed him a Lotus.
It was the Venom.
Bosku. Doesn't matter though. Bosku, good TPN, very great support play. He's doing phenomenal already on his support plays, I have to say. But that time, Talon just had his number.
Yeah, so far right now, the Timber hasn't even skilled 1 point in reactive. I guess because you're going Vanguard early, you don't need reactive armor, so you can go max in all your nukes to pressure that out.
I guess then it wasn't too big of a deal to take the for chain level 1 at the end of the day. It's pretty useful for securing range creep, and a bit of mobility against this kind of a lane can go a long way.
Yeah, the only downside with this build is if Koto is not in your lane and you don't have mana.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's going to need to run back top lane, maybe stack the next rune. Rune does spawn bottom, it's a shield rune. Ollie's going to go ahead and collect that. There's some big stacks right now, though, in this Radiant Triangle. And I think Tim's is... No, he's just going to soften him up a little bit. I believe this is going to go the way of Carl.
Yeah, let's keep track of the runes. So the first one is
Shield. This is a fun little game we play. What do you think is going to be next? I'm going to go Illusion.
Illusion, yeah.
I'll go Illusion.
The Ember wants a haste rune, but there's a TP bot. Ollie's coming bot again.
Yes. What happens here?
They have, they still do not have Raw.
This is difficult as well for Raven. Level 4 here to the level 5 of Jabs, who's already approaching level 6. Might even get it on this next wave.
Yeah, they definitely need the level 6 on Jabs before they can actually make an aggressive play here. Or at least wait for the Ember to rotate in.
KP as well, still waiting to hit his own level 6. That's 10 denies at the very least. And has somewhat given the boot here to 23. As soon as that level 6 hits for KP, I assume that Alk would rather be farming the top, line of the map. For now, though, he's happy to continue following the small creeps, especially when he does get those 2 good counts for himself. Just 40 seconds away from runes. Wisdom runes went 1 for 1, I assume. Yeah, another one getting too aggressive there. But Raven has been, I would say, the one to really suffer the most out of this laning stage. Where do you see TA in this kind of, sorry, make that PA in this kind of a meta, Winter? In this kind of like snowball heavy meta, I heard you call it earlier on panel. How do you think she fits in?
I mean, her laning phase is always not the best, like he gets bullied a lot in the lane. I mean, late game, I don't doubt the power of PA when it comes to late game, but it's always about getting there, You don't survive the early game a lot. In most cases, you get pressured a lot, like what you're seeing right now on Raven. You don't get a very good start, and then your item timings are slow. Mid lane, we're gonna see a glimpse.
Yeah, action here as Carl gets up a Rolling Thunder and will live, but that is gonna leave him unable to fight for the minute 8 runes, which is a DD. Okay, we were both wrong there. Makoto doesn't get the haste, but the DD will do just as good work, especially when Q sets you up for the stun. Makoto cuts himself free of a tree, and Boss 2 will fall. Just that tree did.
Yeah, now the Ember's gonna be able to take charge of the game, If somebody can refill his bottle, because the Pango has no role, he has to go back to base. But as of right now, well, he's actually rushing Boots of Travel.
Yeah, he is. That's
Boots of Travel?
Do you think they're going for... I mean, that's an odd choice on the Ember Spirit. You usually see the phase Boots, right? Oh, glimpse back. Carl, how far back?
Okay, Ollie's MVP.
Yeah, that's the same.
If the game ends now, Ollie's MVP.
If the game ends right now, Ollie wins. Absolutely. Very good, very good. Is that what you say in pubs? You deny the 1 range creep? You say if the game ended right now, I would be MVP.
I mean, if I get 2 or 3 glimpses like that.
I mean, hey, that's a big move. Lots of time wasted here from on the side of Carl. But I wanted to ask, what did I want to ask, Quincy? What was I talking about? Oh, right, about the Ember Spirit going for the BOTs. No, he's changed his mind. He's going phase Boots.
Yeah, I was so surprised that he's so greedy, to go travels like this. Facebook seems like the more traditional and the normal thing to do right now. And for Talon, Alchemist is he gets pressured, but he can always go to the jungle and get a lot of gold in return. But the downside is in their lineup, like nobody really wants to lane against this Timber. Elk doesn't want to lane against Timber. Beastmaster does not want to come top. The supports do not want to lane against Timber. The only person that can actually lane against Timber is Mikoto on this Ember. So I'm not sure if they're gonna wait what phone call. So I'm not sure if they're gonna decide to park the Ember at some point, in the Timber's lane just to defend and hold the tower. Are they willing to wait for the tier 1 to fall, or they're just gonna send the Ember up fairly soon?
It's kind of difficult, right? And I feel like until you get Maelstrom up, I don't know if you really have damage into this.
I mean, now maybe it makes a little bit more sense. Maybe he was thinking about that. That's why he wants to go travel, so he can actually just lane against the Timber all the time and be able to connect to his teammates whenever he wants to. Because he looks at the draft, right, and you think about who is actually going to lane against the Timber. Nobody can.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, definitely not Disruptor. Beastmaster as well, just roars him and then runs away. Jabs is going to be happy here if he can take the tower fast enough such that the Timbersaw is not going to be able to try and switch lanes. But usually, you tend to see the offlaners take a lot of time, enjoy a lot of farm in the off lane after they take the tower. You expect to see that for both offlaners here as Makoto wants to be fine here. He's able to tank through that Illuminate and pick up the Arcane rune. So Arcane, DD, and Shield. So we're missing Illusion, Haste, and Arcane. No, Invis, correct.
Yeah. I mean, all these things are, it's not even like a meme, you know? You actually have to pay attention to it. And
No, I agree. I'm not memeing with you.
no, I'm just telling everybody, you have to, in your games, you have to realize that this is going to be a very important deal.
Yeah, especially for a hero like an Ember, right?
Yeah, when you know that it's going to be like a very, very high chance of a haze or DD that could be on a hero like Ember, then you have to really invest in your resources to contest the rune. And we see Arcane Rune Ember running bot right now. They're going to try to, like you said, open up the tower, kill the tower here with the Beastmaster.
Map read here by the side of Blacklist, saw that he got the rune, knew that he'd probably be looking to continue snowballing his game. The 23 taking farm in the mid lane this aggressively. It's very likely that Makoto is either in his own jungle or making a move towards yours. Good reaction here as the tower is going to go down. Keep got the last hit there, but that's bot lane now down. So KP still chipping away at his tier 1 top. Should go down relatively shortly. This tower going down as well as the smoke play, at least for Talon. It's not totally fruitless. You see a pretty deep ward planted now on this. This used to be the Tinker ward spot when the map was a bit smaller. Tends to get dewarded, but does give you a ton of vision. It's a really, really good ward in this kind of a lineup where you can chase. You have a lot of vision already between Hawks, Disruptor, Ember, you know. I like that ward a lot early.
Yeah, so now, right now, Talon's going to transition and trying to collapse towards the middle lane. Radiance is not completed yet on Elk.
He's getting pretty aggressive here, though. Surprised to see him joining the fight so early, honestly.
Yeah, because the Beastmaster is really, really strong with the Helm right now, so they're trying to play according to that timing.
Okay, baited up the unstable concoction. Seems like a bait.
Oh, that means the block up.
Last off did miss. Bosku trying to kill a Hawk, won't be able to. No, he's under the vision at least.
Okay, they have to back off right now, so 23 TP's top.
Yeah.
Continues to finish his Radiance. She's going to be able to get it fairly, very soon.
There's the haste.
So haste. So what's the remaining woods?
Illusion and Invis.
Invis. Yeah. So those two are not really that useful.
Not as crazy, no. I could see an Invis for the Beastmaster being pretty good, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Walk up and Aurora PA. It's of all the runes, you know, I mean, Illusion is a little bit less inspiring, I would say, of the two. But yeah, I mean, a key moment there, right, is they did force the TP out from KP, didn't they? Right? KP takes the tower top, 23 showing in the mid lane, KP TP's mid, and 23 then just TP's top, and now he knows that area of the map is safe to farm on, and he can continue doing Elk things.
Yeah, and Talon have to figure out, do they have to allocate resources to kick this timber out? They're gonna need, like, I think at least 3 people to kick this timber out. Or do they feel like, oh, we're comfortable splitting the map down in half right now, and we're just gonna protect like the bottom area?
How do you like KP on this kind of a hero Timber Saw? Do you think he can carry the game, like the early game, like we've seen Masaros do previously? Because he was pretty inspiring on the Magnus, and he was a lot more of like the team fight initiation.
Yeah,
He plays a different role here, doesn't he?
this is definitely not a hero that I would say put on KP.
Fight breaking out. Bosku taking a lot of damage here. That killed the position 5 Venomancer, of course, and it's actually going to go down. The neutral's even doing a lot of work there. Carl, in the meantime, finds himself rolling in the river here, having a grand old time.
Yeah, no glimpse yet.
Try and evade Ali. That glimpse on cooldown for 6 more seconds. May not matter here with the damage Makoto has. Carl unable to find a clip to jump up to. The stun just catching him as well, and it's 2 kills for Q.
Yeah, he got the kill because he has a haste rune. So that's why it's really, really important to control the power runes. And bot lane 23. He's still stuck here, but should be able to retreat fairly safely.
Seems like, sorry, I was going to say that. It seems like KP's spending a lot of time mirroring the rotations of 23 whenever he can. Damage on Makoto, by the way. Bosku finds his trees destroyed here as he continues to spread the plague here amongst the creeps, trying to defend the tower. Doing a decent job of that.
I mean, eventually the tower's gonna fall. There's not much he can do, but he's forcing them to commit a lot more resources so far to get the tower. But right now, you were asking me about like KP mirroring the Elk. I feel like he's kind of doing the right thing, you know. He has this Vanguard, he has the cloak, it's pretty strong, and I feel like you definitely want to be part of all the fights, as much of the fights as you can. And you have a Koto to buff you up, reducing your cooldowns of the Whirling Death and the Timber Chain. It's a pretty nice thing to have in the team fights.
Yeah, true. I mean, you can even see how quickly, he cleared that stack on KP. Just getting that little chakra magic drive-by from Tims, who's at least able to collect a little bit of the experience. I'm sure Tims has been stacking a ton here on the Coddle. One of the best heroes in the game of stacking, other than Shadow Demon, I think is the only person that can stack more, unless you just are a Chen god and micro the hell out of your army.
Naga Siren.
Naga Siren's probably pretty good. Those illusions last a long time, I agree. Terrorblade.
Okay, fine, that's not fair. I know you're asking for support.
Naga Siren support. Build the Meteor Hammer again, you know?
What, 2018?
Yeah, right? Good times, good times. Techies as well. I mean, this seems to be the new biggest build, baddest build right now on the Techies. Just rushing into the Guardian Reaves.
Yeah, he's a very, very useful team fighting hero. You know? That's why it makes a lot of sense to buy all the team fight items, and you're a hero that would go in, run in front of the enemy. You're gonna put yourself in a lot of danger, so it's nice to have all these items.
Yeah, Radiance online. Oh, sorry, Radiance is online for this Alchemist, pardon me. Battle Fury is the thing that is still on its way for Raven. Just needs this cornucopia, but is not going to be able to defend this tier 2 tower. Not himself anyway, it's going to be up to the supports.
Yeah, this is why we don't see this hero a lot. He just struggles a lot in the early game. You know? It affects a lot of your Battle Fury timings. You can't really do too much about it. You know, if you look at all the meta off-lane heroes, they're all really, really strong in the lane. That's why you always see like the carries that can be picked nowadays are always the strong laners, you know, like Monkey King.
Right. And it seems like this is the kind, like a hero with a slow start, right? It is the kind of hero that you'd want in a core-to-core matchup as an Alchemist, right? Well, in trouble, is going to die to the creep of jabs.
That's his job, Richie.
I want to follow up. That is his job. He's, you know, the spoiler for the interview tomorrow, he says when he dies on Event 05, he just says, I'm making space, guys. I'm making space.
Classic excuse, right?
Yeah. Exactly. He says, I used to do it on offlane and they would tell me no, and now I do it.
Good for him, you know, like he's in the right role right now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, he definitely seemed really excited about it. We'll see how this series ends up and who we get for an interview. But it's an exciting change for Blacklist, isn't it, right? Bringing on KP.
Yeah, he definitely feels like he provided them a lot of very good additions in terms of playstyle. He fits the team a lot more. Like he's less selfish. He plays a lot more for the team.
This game, he's been a bit selfish, though. And maybe because he's had a lot of space to farm. He's earned it, right?
But still, he's coming to the fights, you know? Like, I feel like...
I agree.
He's playing selfish in a way where he prioritizes his own farm a lot because he's a freaking timber, you know, you need to hit creeps. But at the same time, he's using that net worth to defend the towers, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to. And he's gone for Octarine first item. Looking to go into the Ag Scepter for that reactive armor.
Really good on
I guess, yeah, that's what I was kind of asking you about. Not much of an offlane player myself, but Timbersaw has changed a bit with the addition of this Ag Scepter. Maybe he's trying to build something into that. Good against the overwhelming amount of physical damage that Talon is going to be presenting. Just ask Roche. This guy used to go down a lot faster, but given that Blacklist are not really in fighting form yet, least of all Raven, who barely has got Battle Fury and not over Corrosion done. Talon are going to be able to claim his first stages. How much do you think Talon's going to be looking to get done with his first stages here, Winter?
I feel like they have to try to take the top side where the PA is trying to farm the double Ancients. That's the first place they have to try to take over, and obviously the Tormentor is going to be up fairly soon as well. So I would say that's their first objective, that to try to invade that area, the top side area, to limit the PA's farm. Apart from that, if you look at item timings, Beastmaster is building into BKB next, so it's going to take some time. Ember is getting a Kaya Sanj. Alchemist already has BKB. Okay, the Alchemist Blink BKB plus Radiance timing. That's going to be
big.
Yeah, this is going to be the big
soon. That is soon. Might even before this Tormentor spawns. We'll see as Talon. They're going to get the boot here. The glimpse is going to be able to find Raven. A little bit of heals with Blast Off to Negligent. As it's going to be a very easy kill there. Even KP now finally stunned up. Might be in for a bit of trouble. There's going to be the ultimate out from Bosku as the roll up from Carl is good enough for the kill, but only onto Q. They've lost 2 cores here on the side of Blacklist. They're set to lose Tims as well.
Oh, nice glimpse.
Jumps in with style. The glimpse as well. It's going to be here to punish Carl. That'll make 3 cores, nearly a full team wipe as Bosku is unable to escape the wrath of Makoto.
I mean, Ori just continues to impress on this Disruptor. Like glimpse after glimpse, Static Storm. Good setup for the first kill on the PA.
And great first usage of BKB there as well for 23 Savage. Hard to ask for a much better setup.
Is this a high ground?
It is now. I think they just got upgraded. And now they do have 2 fortifies here, so maybe it's just a tier 3 tower and back, but maybe you just back, right? Like you said, you're still waiting for that BKB. Didn't you say BKB on Jabs? I think he's changed it up.
Oh, so he wants to go for Pipe. Since he has Pipe, it means that you deal with the magic damage from Kotal, Pango, and the Banner. I feel like he only decided that because they just took a decisive lead, right? They want a team fight, they kill the tower.
It's a little bit more of a make the next fight impossible for them.
Yeah, you are able to end the game quickly with your current advantage. I think it's a good good option for the Beastmaster.
How are BLACLIST supposed to play this though now? Are they going to try and like take a breakout fight into Aegis? Is Raven just going to do what he's doing now and try and farm waves with Blur?
Oh, another static storm of 2 heroes.
There they go. They get the Pango again. He's already down and Bosco can do nothing. He's trapped inside. Another glimpse.
Oh,
Tims
man.
finds himself now outside of the high ground. These heroes slowed to a crawl, but 23 burning him down, throws the concoction. Stick charge is forced out. The solar bind. I don't think it's going to be enough. Winter 23 throws the acid spray down, and that's 3 kills here for Talon. Almost certainly a tier 2 tower.
How often do you get to see a disruptor carrying the game of all heroes?
Not too much, you know? I always think about Eastern Europe has really, really incredible disruptors with Solo, right? X-Nova as well plays a mean disruptor. Unfortunately, that team, you know, just taking their second mouse earlier, not really coming together quite yet, although they did pick up the hero in their first game of the summer tour. Yeah, it's not too many, is it? You really kind of come to the greats, and Ali performing great in this game so far. I really have to commend Q as well. I think for a time, I wasn't so sure if Q was just good as a player or if he was just a good Tiny. He's just good. And that's no disrespect to his Tiny. His Tiny was impeccable. It won games for Talon.
People say he's the best Tiny.
He's amazing. He's just really good at Dota now, folks. I can't confirm. Ollie, don't die to the Tormentor, though.
I mean, Tekis is also one of his most played heroes. If you watch him for some time. Like, people just don't know it, you know, people think that because he's always playing Tiny in official matches, so he can only play one hero, but that's actually totally not true. So 1 minute left on the Aegis.
Yeah, and up to high ground they go, even activating whatever's left of the Chemical Rage. They've stolen the enemy Tormentor as well. BLACLIST Rivalry have 1 kill, so when did this happen?
Look at Raven, he's not ready to fight, that's why they only have 1 kill. The PA is the one responsible for the kills.
What do you do here? Do you throw bodies at this, try and slow the racks?
This is one of the most perfect games played in our SEA DPC so far.
Hold on, 23. Hey, he did get the throw up. Oh, just barely alive as well. 40 HP.
Let's be careful though, 30 seconds on the 8. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's happy to take that death there because here they come. Yeah, KP now stuck inside of the static storm. Carl at the very least able to roll around here a little bit, but the blast off, it's good. On to 2. KP does manage to get out. Bosco not as lucky as 20. Kind of getting kited around there, but it's good at the end as Q's ended up getting that kill onto Carl.
Oh, Mikoto's dead.
Yeah, that he is. Perhaps overextending Raven as well, joining this fight nearly at the BKB, but the Techies mines are going to make it a rather undesirable and unpalatable pursuit here.
Yeah, still pretty difficult to siege the base with the Venom Wards around. Koto, you know, using the blast and the blinding light. It's a lot of annoying spells to do, you know, and you have a very tanky Timber standing in front, acting like a tower.
But once again, I mean, Ollie...
Aghanims, yeah? So the Timber almost has Aghanims, so he has Aghanims and Octarine. So his plan is to just maximize on dealing damage in the team fight.
Someone has to. I mean, it's just frankly, it's not Raven right now, is it?
Raven needs BKB.
He needs BKB and Deso. Yeah, right. Like I feel for him this game. He doesn't really have a whole lot of minus armor. Not great synergy on the team as well to make that any easier for him.
I mean, on the other hand, Talon is still on the timer. You know, they can't just let the PA skill and keep farming. Eventually, they're gonna run out of steam.
That is true, but how relevant is that when your Alchemist is 7k above the PA? How big of a concern is that? You know?
Because I would say it's just 1 team fight. If BLACLIST
1 team fight
can win 1 team fight,
wow, 7k. I mean, I guess new meta, right?
Yeah, because
the gold cost.
Your Elk, you know, you're supposed to be like 10k ahead at this point. You know, if you're not 10k ahead as Elk, then you're gonna be in trouble against the PA.
Okay.
So I would say 1 team fight will put BLACLIST right back into this game.
Okay. KP now has bought out for the Ag Scepter. Does leave him, of course, without buyback. Keep that in mind for upcoming fights. No BKB either for him. Ollie, you know, in general, with the changes, Winter, with debuff immunity rather than magic immunity, it really makes having BKB feel really strong against these kind of lineups that have a lot of AoE, right? Like that constantly apply debuffs. That's where new BKB feels amazing. And there's 2 BKB, sorry, 1 BKB, a big one, coming from BLACLIST. It's Ravens. He might not be ready to fight, but I don't believe
they have to get a good fight here.
They have a chance, and that's a good initiation at the very least, especially if they can burst them. But 23, no, gets off the Chemical Rage, beating now into Raven, but the miss rate a little bit too much. Not like it matters with the 2-man stun. It's big. Tims is going to go down. Bosco will follow him, buys back instantly as they find a glimpse onto Raven. Don't quite connect on the kinetic field, however, so he's able to at least Phantom Strike back into the base. Kodo back as well. In full HP and
I mean,
mana.
that was so close, you know, if he's in the connecting field, I think they just lose the Rex. That he dies.
Yeah, I think they lose the game, quite frankly.
Yeah, he dies, they lose the Rex. At least one more set of Rex, and maybe even the third.
I like the game, Winter.
Yeah, I think I'll take that blame. You know, I've been praising Oli too much, and then he messes up one combo.
Yeah, there it is, Ollie. One combo. I mean, that's, you know, still a phenomenal game so far out from Talon Esports. They only end up getting a kill there, I believe, onto the supports with a buyback committed from Tim's. But BLACLIST keep everyone else alive and don't really take any tower damage.
I guess they should wait for Roche right now. Like, don't risk anything. Like,
He's top. I think it's Carl who might be in for a little bit of a rough time. It's 23 perfectly here to follow up, and that is a kill on the mid lane. Can't believe it. This is another big time in here for the Alchemist, isn't it? It's on the AC.
yeah. And by the way, I don't think we highlighted. He actually took he took the acid, giving armor to your teammates. So it's really good against. Yeah, it's very good against the PA.
Yeah, it is.
And with the AC, so he's giving them in total around 12 armor.
That's
Yeah, 12 armor.
that's a serious amount. You weren't joking about
Free
that.
plate meal for everybody.
Free plate mount. I mean, at the very least, it's going to basically it's going to neutralize the Deso, which is important for Raven. He still needs to get this thing online because he's doing no damage. Especially because there's no Crimson even. The Jazz has felt so comfortable that he's just gone for the full pipe of Insight, and fair enough with the way this game has been going, but it doesn't even feel like they really even need a Crimson on top of this to further reduce the physical damage of the PA. It doesn't feel too good to Crimson, right? Because PA, when she's really online, the crit numbers get up to like 1,000, and then what is, you know, minus 50 damage do about that? Still, to consider. Yeah, the Kodo is on an intercept course right now for Raven, but the blur is not going to be broken.
Yeah, so that's just one lane of Rex, and Talon have to decide, do we actually just wait for... I think the sensible option would be just to wait for the next Roshan. Just don't risk anything, play for the Aegis, and try to go with high ground with that.
BLACLIST not keen to just sit around and let that happen. Just broke out of the base. They know Roche is going to be
That's
top
the right
in the
call.
next 3 minutes.
I don't think they can afford to give up the Roche. They have to come out on the map and try to play some good observer wards and contest the Roche.
How many times have you seen this, though? Winter Bosco's nearly died to all the techies' minds already.
He has Trunkel Boots, he'll be fine.
No chance for them to really get too close. Talon as well, playing extremely disciplined. Look at the ward they're holding. A Hawk, a Mine, and an Observer ward on that cliff, giving them the vision.
Okay, so Roche is up. Talon's already heading over to it. Not sure if BLACLIST can actually make it on time. Don't think they know, but probably gonna be difficult for them to move over there.
Raven's already, I wouldn't call it despair mode, but at this stage of the game, it is a little bit of a despair item. Yeah, Rapier. You know, and it can work, right? Of all the heroes to build one, old Medusa used to do this, PA as well.
I think it's the right call given the situation. I mean, if they don't win the next team fight, they're gonna lose anyway, so why bother?
Yeah, I agree. I use the word despair, Winter, not because I think he's like upset, you know, gonna buy a Shadowing and all that, more just because, oh, what else can I do? I have to do damage.
This is the only way.
It's the only way. 23, keen to throw the stun there on the KP, canceling the TP. Doesn't have a TP scroll. Bosku is going to be able to get away. They see KP as well through the Watcher. Can you get through the gates using Timber Chain? I don't know. Will we be able to find out? I don't think so, as they're going to keep him perma-stun, so that science experiment's going to have to wait until next time. I know you can like time walk through it.
Yeah, because you're invulnerable and you can waveform through it, because you're also invulnerable.
Has fallen.
I don't know about a Timber Chain though. That one's a bit weird. Maybe if you like use Yule's Scepter and do the Yule's trick or something like that. I have no idea, Winter, honestly. But at the very least, KP dies as close as he can to the enemy base, allows BLACLIST to push one more wave out, so he might not have to buy back because the next creep wave's a bit far. So we'll have a little bit of backdoor.
Yeah.
What is this? The Kodo is just completely on his own. Okay.
Yes, she is. He just wants to see how many heroes are there, try to bait out some spells. He's one creep away from getting his axe, you know, so they should just save some creeps for him. Oh no, Alchemist wants to take everything?
Yeah, that's all his.
Oh no, they popped the Zeal. Okay.
Raven, I mean, they just anything to get Raven closer to this Divine Rapier. He's still only halfway towards the Relic, but I mean, are you seeing how fast this game is breaking down for them?
I'm afraid they won't have much time. KP has to TP right in front.
Radiant's bottom tower
He does that exactly.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
Rolling
under
Thunder being channeled here by Carl. Thinking about making the play now. In they go. There's going to be the disarm now. 23
That's a lot of damage.
Doing what he can, but it's scary of a moment there. Far barracks defended for now. That's a cute little dagger thrown in, not doing too much.
Yeah, they still have to respect the rolling death damage on the Elk, you know. If they don't have any Lotus, right? So nothing can actually dispel it apart from the BKB on the Elk. I mean, as of right now, he still has the AK, so if he wants to play aggressive, he still has a second life to use his BKB. He's gonna charge up his stun.
See what he can find. On the jump on in. It's 23. Didn't stun himself either on that one. The reactive armor stack's coming in now, but a phenomenal static storm here is going to prevent KP from being able to escape here. They're even going to stick the ancient granite golem on him, and that's an easy kill for 23 Savage. Makoto now in deep, but no stuns to control him. He's safely back into the hands of his allies. 23 struggling to get back now. And even KP going a little bit more aggressive, trying to cut off the reinforcements. That's a kill through the Chemical Rage, which was just activated. KP as well, trying to break the backlines. There is a BKB there. Carl doing his best. Look at that damage. What the heck was that? Q is a little bit late on that jump in as KP doing everything that he can, preventing further enemies from running into the base, but it's not going to stop Makoto from picking off Bosku. Bosku buys back instantly, TPing back into the fight. KP's being corralled here as he looks for the kill onto Q. Tim's can't quite find it either as Makoto jumps by Raven, jumps out of the base here with the Remnant. He's in some trouble though. They need a crit and they will find one. A big kill here for Blacklist Rivalry. Carl is low. They look like they want to make a play on him, but they just quite can't. And somehow, Winter, Blacklist Rivalry will just barely hold.
Yeah, that's going to give them a chance to actually still be able to turn the game around, you know. They still have one lane of racks. Rapier is almost available for the Phantom Assassin on Raven. I mean, I feel like Blacklist still has a shot in this game, you know. They just need to make sure that they get the right smoke, or at least the right initiation in the next fight. If they can actually kill off the Elk one time, I feel like they're going to be able to turn the game around slowly.
Yeah, KP is making miracles happen right now on his Nimbersaw.
He has to use the buyback the last fight though, so they won't have it in the next one.
That's true, but I mean, he was basically 1v4ing. Like, there's just no way that Blacklist Rivalry can take a fair fight right now against this Alchemist. They needed KP to basically be this unstoppable wall. Here's a DD room, by the way. Okay, into the bottle for Carl. That's the right move. Because of course they have the ward on the high ground and they saw the forces of Talon mustering to kill them. Rapier is finished though. Raven has it online.
I mean, it's gonna be huge. Do they have a observer ward? Wait, Cuckoo. Yeah, Cuckoo has 3 observer wards right now. So he has one place on the high ground here. He needs to try to set up a parameter for his team to decide whether they can take a fight. DD on Carl, not the most impactful rune on Pango.
The Talon's positioning as well.
Yeah, they know something is coming here.
here.
They definitely know who has buyback. Let's see who has buyback. Nobody has buyback except for Colo.
Just the Coddle buyback.
They're 20k ahead, nobody has buyback. What?
Well, look, Tony, he's got items to buy, okay? What do you think Gaben gave him the Greevil's Greed to save? It's in the name, Winter. Alright.
Do you think like when you save your gold and you don't spend it, you should be given an interest on it?
I think as Alchemist, the more money you have in your bank, like once you have more than 2,000, it should give you like a damage debuff.
Damage debuff?
Yeah, like the more money you have, because it's Greevil's Greed. You know? And then you just spend your money and then you have more damage. Isn't that cool? That should be the Ag Scepter.
I mean, we used to have a hero that deals damage based on
gambler.
gold. Yeah.
Okay, Boomer, back. It's okay, Winter. We'll take you back to the retirement home after this, okay? You can't have that as a mechanic. There's a ward here, by the way. Blacklist, they have Talon underneath a couple of their wards. Not a bad fight for them to take, but it does feel like a bait. We'll see what Raven can make happen with the Divine Rapier. KP as well. They're going to find 23, but he does get off the Unstable Concoction. Find a stun with it, though. Carl just running around in this fight here, looking for a stun. Does find one, but the rest of Blacklist, I feel like that's too far to fight underneath. Bosku is going to be able to get off the ultimate. Rooted in place, though. 23 finally makes the jump, and Q will seal the deal there.
No buyback.
Blast off. No buyback for him. Tormentor. Middle of this as well, damage to everyone.
He's like, I don't want to be a part of this, guys.
Yeah, leave me out of this.
All right, so PA is also going to hit for level 20. So that's going to be also another power spike for him. I guess you get the stifling dagger damage. Right?
Really? I figure this game, you're going for burst. You want to just 100 to 0 this Alchemist. 100-0. This.
I mean, there's still a lot of poking being done, you know, by the PA before the fight actually begins. You know, the pre-fight, I call it.
I don't know. When you look at those stats, 88% take the Phantom attack speed. Numbers don't lie. I gotta say, that to me just seems like the right choice. I agree with you. In a normal game where you're playing PA and you're throwing daggers, maybe that's the right move. In a game like this, where your back's against the wall and you've been forced to buy a Divine Rapier pre-40 minutes in, you have 4 kills on your team, I want to burst these guys. I can't let them use their items.
He has to burst, I guess. Should you try to burst the support? If Beastmaster hasn't used ulti, I think you try to kill the Beast first. But if Beastmaster already used ulti, I don't think you try to focus him. You need to kill like the techies, the disruptor.
The techies and disruptors are easy kills here, and I think very obvious ones. I think Ember is also very killable, honestly.
Ember doesn't have armor item. He doesn't have a Shiva.
No, it's just the AC and it's just the acid spray if 20 gets it down.
I mean, the acid spray is only if you're standing on it.
Well, I agree. That's what I mean, right? Very situational items. Wow, we'll see if it makes a difference.
He's going BKB on the Ember next, so it'll be some time before he gets an armor item.
You were wrong, by the way. Raven went for the left to 20 talent, the Phantom attack speed.
Yeah, I know.
It makes sense.
When you were lecturing me, I'm like, all right, that's probably true. You know, that's not the right thing to do to get the 20% damage talent.
What do you think about this Techie Zags though? Minefield sign now.
Annoying, very annoying. Like there's so many spells, like all these like spells that take over an area in a team fight. You know, I remember the most annoying ones are the Techies and the Oracle.
Oh, the Reign of Destiny.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty decent shard now.
Heal amp and damage.
Heal amp and a little, it's like 40 DPS and heal per second. Which is pretty big, right? Because that's basically a damage differential of 80, right? That means you have to do 80 DPS to really outfight that, especially if you're going to try and fight him inside the Oracle too. It's fun. I like that one a lot. I didn't like it, granted, when Thompson built it in TI quals. But it is fun in pubs.
If you like it, you have to like it every time.
You're right.
You don't get to choose.
Yeah, my bad. How hypocritical of me. Not liking Oracle mid, I'm sorry.
I'm surprised we didn't get to see a lot of Oracle. You know, I feel like the hero feels pretty strong.
He feels okay, yeah. He doesn't feel too bad, so I'm a bit surprised as well.
I mean, the other regions, I think, especially Europe, they've been picking up the hero, but in SCA, not by much. Everybody just wants to be the aggressor. Who wants to be the hero that sits behind and saves the team?
Me.
That's why you are not playing man. That is why you are just sitting here with me.
Yeah, but that's why I get MMR. You just have to say, in pubs it's easy. You just make a couple important saves on your ally.
I thought you told me Witch Doctor is the way to get MMR.
No, I don't think so. I think Witch Doctor is a little bit too. He was like 4th most popular hero on Dota buff. He's overpicked right now. I think
for the new patch?
Yeah, I don't think he's very good. I think his cast ranges feel awful. I think he doesn't farm fast enough because you either have to max Maledict and then you don't have cask bounces to farm out like an Ether Lens, and then you need like Blink. And
you have an IO as your team and you are the core.
No, you need a Chen.
Chen?
You need a Chen for the Penitence, and then you get the Machine Gun Death Ward. That's a real thing, by the way.
That sounds like someone who's played a lot of Witch Doctor games.
Yeah, and Dendy. Dendy has done it. He plays mid Witch Doctor. It's a good strat. Look, it's not bad. I think as a core, he has potential, maybe a little bit more life in this kind of a patch, like an offlaner in these weird kind of metas. But I think not, because the map's too big. And he's very limited. He has to basically get you within coconut throwing range. And, and coconuts are pretty heavy. You can't throw them very far.
Okay, this is going to be the last stand here. Like BLACLIST, they're trying to hold the high ground for the last time.
Raven spot out, of course, might as well when you have a Rapier. He's got still in the 7-second BKB, of course the Divine Rapier, and the Skull Basher. So button up for that Basher, holding on to this Titan Slipper as well.
Yeah, just watch the crits, you know. You have to just follow Raven the whole team fight.
Pretty much.
Look at the crits. I mean, he doesn't need buyback anymore. If he dies, they lose anyway.
Agreed, yes. I believe that is a wise decision. Everyone else on his team, though, does have buyback, and no one from Talon has buyback.
What?
Yeah.
The team that's 25k ahead, nobody has buyback.
No, they don't have buyback. They're investing it into their items. We'll see how that works out for them as they do smoke now out of the base. Hawk is going to at least scout a little bit of movement here. Down still kind of hidden away. They have Techie's mines, but we have got Bosku Venomancer if you're Blacklist Rivalry fans.
So who do they want to jump the most here? I guess you have to try to kill the Pango if you can start on the Pango with the Raw.
Oh, maybe KP. They're going to look for Bosku first, take him down. Does have the buyback. KP's going to be a bit too tanky here. It is broken, but Carl's in on the counter initiation. Makoto doesn't have a target yet. Actually finds himself stunned once. That's a big dagger thrown in. It puts the fear of God in ya.
Yeah, they still have buyback on Bosku.
But for now, if you're Blacklist, you're pretty happy with that. Chemical Rage was utilized. You're just trying to burn time on this Aegis. Get any more items that you can onto this Phantom Assassin.
There's still 3 minutes, unfortunately, for Blacklist, you know. Timer on the Aegis.
That's true, but Chemical Rage is about to end, and maybe if you're Talon, that might be enough to dissuade them. One mistake, like you said, does kind of make this game feel a little bit more.
Maybe you should go check the rune, you know. They have an observer ward looking at the rune. Like, late game, I always feel like you should have one observer wards on the rune side so that you know what runes you're gonna get, and you have to decide when you have to go back and take an important rune before you push the high ground.
Would you consider a DD rune to be important?
Yeah, of course. What the hell, man?
I'm just checking.
I mean, I think it's one of those things that's a bit underrated, you know, like sometimes you see certain teams do it, really do it, you know, when they're pushing, they always go back and check the runes, but some teams, they don't really put too much emphasis on doing it.
Whoa, 23 is just in, finds KP, which is a bit of a tough tank to try and burst immediately.
Radiant's middle tower.
Damage as well in return. Look at that, 23, not really respecting the amount of burst on that Timbersaw eggs. He's gonna have another one in 15 seconds if he can live that long. Actually, they're refreshing it as well. It goes now, Carl trying to make a little bit of space and time. There's that minefield side going to work. The roar as well onto Raven. Carl tied to the techie eggs, and now Raven's gonna be in some he's just dead. Q blew him up. GG called, that's it. Blacklist Rivalry with a very respectable hold here, but 23 smile on his face as they're going to be able to take down Blacklist in game number 1 of this season.
I mean, that was a good try, you know. I feel like overall, after what happened in the early mid-game, Blacklist, they did a